How's it going, Yugi tubers? Your boy Slim is here, showing you the rest of the climb up to Master 1. As you saw in my last video, I went up through Master 4 with K9 ninjas. After that, it got a little bit complicated and frankly just very difficult to go past that because I was kind of just constantly alternating wins and losses, and it was really tough to gain any traction. So I did the rest of the climb with Lunalight just because I was running out of time in the season, February being a short month and all. But yeah, showing you the quick list here for Lunalight. It's pretty standard. It's really kind of going off of Royal Van Dyke's list. I made a couple of changes just for personal preference, mostly the fact that I'm running 42 cards, but the extra deck is still basically the same. That being said, let's get into the games. Alright, here we go, going first here. So now the beauty of Lunalight is that it doesn't really matter whether you go first or second. You do prefer to go first with the new support, relatively new support I mean, but you can go second and break some boards. Right here I'm being met with interruption early, but I had enough to push through and go into some fusion plays. So go into Perfume Dancer, get some resources back. So I'll use Perfume now to special summon Leo, use the Perfume to search, and we're gonna normal summon the Kaleido chick, dumping the Yellow Martin, and then going into some of the plays where I will use Perfume to re-special the Kaleido, using Gold Leo's unused effect to bounce back the Wolf. Then I'll use Tenki to bring out the Tiger, make Cross Sheep, special summon back the Perfume Dancer, and then that'll just allow me to get some bodies on board here. Gonna go into SP, going to make the rank 4. I believe I go into the Evil Swarm Nightmare, not Dugara's, and I have enough fuel there to go for the Liger, but they have Dominus Impulse and they pop the Wolf, so I'm in trouble because they also have Super Poly to clear my board. So now they only have one card in hand, so I'm hoping they don't have a starter, and they don't, so they just go into Typhon to do 2900 damage and set 1 pass. Now I have my own impulse set, and I have some fuel with what I can do here. So special summon back, use the Yellow Martin, but they have Solemn Warning. So this leads me to believe that they're playing just like a trap heavy deck, probably Odion. And I'm here just trying to survive until I can push past their plays. That is not what I needed, but I am still able to do something here. So I'll Xyz, I'll go into battling Boxer Dempsey. The idea here being that I'm sending Yellow Martin, Kaleido, no, I was right, Yellow Martin for effect, and then that allows me to make some of these plays here. Now they have Purge, but because I have the Graveyard effect live to negate, I'm able to push through and they just scoop. Going second here, let's see what they got. Okay, so we're facing Maliss, basically. Yeah, so with the add Ignister cards, despite the hits to the deck, it is still very much live and they can still do a lot of things. So definitely have to be very careful with how I play. Particularly the fact that you have to know when to cut them off, because essentially they can go full combo and still end on Allied Code where they have an Omni Negate and have some other plays live. Some people will try to go with the Save Worm route so they can have a Graveyard Negate too. I'm just waiting for the right moment to spring the Dominus Impulse here. So typical things, we all know Maliss can combo all for days once they get going. There comes Cyber's Wicked. Here comes Splash Mage. I think I choose to spring it here, maybe, when they use the Splash Mage effect. Yeah, no, there I go. When they're trying to special summon out the White Binder. Out comes Talker though. In reality, I probably should have still held. This maybe wasn't the optimal use of... Yeah, I should have waited for Allied Code Talker. Although, I guess in theory, if I if they hadn't been slowed down before, they probably would have been able to make allied code with a body on board that they could use for the negate anyway, but I'll never know. So now the game here is to try and bait the negate in a way that I can push through. They will imperm Gold Leo, that does hurt, but I'm able to go for some plays here. I go into the Aziz monster, this they'll have to negate, so I force the negate there, pop and banish, negate and banish, and they start to create some moves here. So they banish my my graveyard with Whitebinder, and it's not looking good. I go for Polymerization though, and then I go right into Perfume Dancer to get Perfume, and then also get Polymerization back. Now they're gonna go ahead and banish it with their, what is that, GWC? I think it is. Yeah, anyway, they don't banish my monster though, so I get Kaleido back. Now they banish Kaleido Chick. Now I use the effect just to see if it baits anything, but I will just make it so they can't use battle phase effects. But I get Wolf back, and now I have an avenue to try and break through here. Because what I'll do is I'll summon Cat Dancer, and then special summon out Wolf, so now I have Piercing. And Cat Dancer can just attack twice. And because of all the life points they paid, I'm doing Piercing twice, boom, GG. So I found the crafty way out of that one, despite how tough it was, really. I'm going second again here. Pretty good going second hand because I have a ton of draw power now. So I see what they're doing with the live twin stuff. Immediately draw one, but they hit me with Droll, so no more draws from me. And they're just gonna go ahead and pop off. Now, granted, they can't add any cards themselves, but they're just gonna do a lot of special summoning and end on now going into the Fiendsmith line, because they can play around Droll here by just special summoning from the deck. Although I still suspect that maybe they're ending on a bit of a suboptimal board here. Now, they also have Unchained plays. They go here into the Ebaku. I don't know how else you're supposed to say that, but yeah. Here, just waiting for them to resolve and just see what is even possible. It's always the worst when you're just waiting basically for your opponent's turn to end, but and you know, basically I always recommend using that time to kind of just plan what you're gonna do on your turn with the cards you have in hand and the interruptions that they're setting up. They have now the Nightmare Griffin lock, so basically all special summon monsters that are not linked can activate their effects, and they have a spell trap negate thanks to the Spright card, Spright Carrot, and they also have the Wave King High Caesar. Now I'll Ash their Max C, and thankfully I'm able to go into to send Yellow Martin, get a card from it. They'll negate with Imperm the Gold Leo. Now what I'm confused about here is why this player is not using Wave King High Caesar. They could have used it on my Lunalight Perfume, and they could have used it here on Tiger. Oh, sorry, they can't use it on Tiger because it was already on field, but still. So I think they just missed their opportunity, and they were trying to save it for something more impactful. So once then I use the Tiger negate on the whole board, I'm free to do whatever I want, and that's when they scoop it up. So yeah, it's unfortunate for them, but we take those wins. Here I'm going second. Now I'm just waiting to see what we're up against, and it looks like it's Branded. So Branded, with all of the popularity in TCG, I think has also been seeing a renaissance here in Master Duel. Probably people preparing for when the support eventually does drop on Master Duel, and also they're just mixing it a lot with Draco Tail. So here, but this is typical regular like Branded board at the moment. So they're just going full combo here, and I'm waiting to see what I have. I have a pretty good hand, at least. Going first or second doesn't matter. I have a lot of gas here. Now I'll start with Tenki trying to bait anything out. It turns out they do have Droll, so now I have to get a little creative, but it doesn't matter because I have enough, I think, to push through. Now they're going to try to fuse on my turn. They're going to pop 2 of my monsters. That's okay. I get my polymerization back thanks to Kaleido Chick. Use Yellow Martin to special. Then I'll come out with Dugares. Basically, I'm just going to try to get Kaleido Chick back so I can get Leo in graveyard. Now I'm going to use Wolf and do the regular Here Comes Liger Dancer scare. No battle phase effects. They're going to try to banish. They just banished Dugares. Like, okay, that does nothing. They protect with Branded Opening there, so I have to beat over their monsters the old-fashioned way. No board wipe right now. And of course, being branded, they have a couple of end phase effects. All they do there is just get Fallen of Valdez. I'll board wipe anyway, just to prevent stuff. But now they're gonna try to make a play. I will negate with Silverhound. They'll send Silverhound back into my deck just to kind of start to build their board up. So out comes some of the Bystials. The Bystials actually do hurt this deck depending on when they're played. A well-timed Bystial against Lunalight is really rough. They just, I guess, didn't open them. And what I'm afraid of here is Titaniclad. Because if they make Titaniclad, they can actually beat over Liger Dancer. Now they would need a good amount of levels to do so, and they just sent Titaniclad to graveyard. So I don't know if they didn't see the line or they didn't have it. But that would have been the way out of this situation. They go Garura here, and I think they're just trying to build the defense and try and outlast me at this juncture. Yeah, like see, like these plays right here, all they're doing is just cutting off some recursion. So now my turn again. Let's see what I can do. I have to go right into the battle phase, so I will nuke the board. They'll get a draw. I'll negate with Ash. They'll chain. Now I have to be careful with that opening back in graveyard because that means that they have protection for a future board wipe. Their Sword Soul card will actually protect them here from me just going for lethal. In main 2 though, I'll try to rebuild the board a little. So add Silverhound, send Silverhound, Silverhound special. Kaleido will send. Goldio adds it back. So now I'll fuse. Here comes Perfume Dancer. Perfume Dancer will search Perfume. Kaleido will get me polymerization back for any follow-up, potentially. We'll send Black Sheep to get back my Wolf. You kind of get where this is going. I'm just really trying to build a full board out. So I'm going to try to get into SP and also have potentially another Liger or that into Evil Swarm Nightmare. Granted, I mean, this is mostly just because I don't have Baguska in Master Duel. Otherwise, that's where I would go. But fusion decks don't really care about Evil Swarm Nightmare too much. This is really just me trying to be a bit more inconvenient to them for certain effects, but... So see, I'll flip that face down because that actually does kind of interrupt their timing a little bit, but they're going to use the trap to banish it to get back the Branded Fusion, which I'll negate. But they'll still be able to go into another fusion play. Oh, actually no, it's because they have their branded card on field, so I forgot that you cannot negate an effect like that. You can't negate the activation there. It's not like when you have Ash Blossom in hand at that point. So yeah, get negated there by Rinbrum. And now, again, I'm a little afraid, because if they get Titaniclad on board, I could be toast. But it doesn't look like they have the line, or maybe they only have the one of in their extra deck. I probably should have prefaced like the beginning of this duel by saying that this was a real grind. Like, this is just like back and forth, you know, that me trying to break through their board. Yeah, they're down to their last 600 life points. But again, I'm just trying to break through. They're playing defense and trying to find some way to get past Liger Dancer. At one point I even thought maybe they're just trying to play for deck out at this point, but... So I got my inboard pieces back thanks to SP. And here I'm just going for game, but they're not done yet. I'll banish SP just in case because I think that they were trying to go into Fallen of Albaz into Fusion. Now that will banish the attack position target to stall me out again. I'll just hit into Mirror Jade and hit into their other monster there. End phase, get my cards back. They're gonna blow up the board anyway with Mirror Jade. Oh no, actually they don't. I guess maybe they figured out that those monsters were coming back, so didn't matter. Yeah, they're just, and they scoop it up. Forget if they ran out of time or they were just, you know, like, forget it, there's no point. But yeah, that was definitely a tough match there. Going second again here, just trying to see what we're up against, and it's against Odion. So one of the decks that I run as well, I've kind of soured on it a little bit recently, like I think I mentioned before, because it's essentially become stun. And that's just not that fun to play against. So right here, again, I'm familiar with how the deck works. It's just a matter of what interruptions do they have, how many ways can I push through. I baited one negate there. They can't stop this, so I will special summon from deck. I know that I put Kaleido Check out there because it sends for cost. So even if they choose to negate it, it would be a waste. And now I'm using the Tiger King here to try and negate their protection from Man with the Mark. So again, here comes Kaleido Check, and I'll end on that. Just because there's nothing else I could do at that point. I did not have enough to power through, and I'm just trying to find a way to survive until next turn. Here comes the Apophis. They're choosing to slow play me. Or not slow play me, but I guess it's to not like get too aggressive. And now they have Man with the Mark on board again with the full protection, so I'm in a bit of trouble here. Now they have their Swamp Deity live, and they pop my Masquerade. Now I'll special summon, get Kaleido Check out, and I'll send Gold Leo. And I go here into some rank 4 plays. I go into Dugara's. They're choosing not to stop it, so I go in, I get Gold Leo, and then I get into Wolf. And then I'll send the Serenade Dance. They'll draw me right there, but that doesn't matter anymore because I have what I need potentially to go into Liger Dancer if they can't stop me. Now I get Black Sheep back just in case, because if they pop Wolf, this is a way that I can get it back. Now I'm able to negate the Impulse, but they will just use the regular negate there on Wolf. Thankfully, I have the Yellow Martin engraved, so I can just bounce it back and use it again. And here I go into Cat Dancer. Cat Dancer was kind of an MVP during this run just because of situations like this where I couldn't get into Liger, but then I can use Perfume's effect to weaken their monsters, and because Cat Dancer's effect is a lingering effect, even though they use Skill Drain there, I can just continually double tap all of their monsters that are in attack mode. So that was a super clutch interaction there, and we take the win. Going first here, we'll set up Tenki. There goes Silverhound, but here comes the Impulse. Now I'll try to special summon the Hound here, summon another Hound, go into SP, set my own Impulse, and you know, now we just kind of pray, right? You know, you have to hope that they don't have enough to push through. But we're facing most likely either Primite Odion or Blue Eyes Primite. Those are usually the two kinds of variants you'll see with that. Now I'll use Impulse there to stop them from getting to the potential synchro play where they can get Labradorite Dragon and go into Barone. So I survive another turn. Now I'll get Hound and I'll use Tenki, but they're going to Solemn Judgment my Tenki. So no follow-up for me. But thankfully, Hound activates Engrave, but it's met with another Solemn card. So Solemn Warning prevents the special summon there. I'm wide open. And now they are actually starting to really chew away at my board. I'm in serious trouble. Thankfully, Laburnite has 0 attack points, and they choose not to go into Barone right away because they want to keep their Drill Beam live. So I'm alive another turn. I'll set the Droplet and pass. And basically, I'm just trying to, again, rope-a-dope here. Now they go into Changying, which I found interesting. Now they hit me for 32. Again, this is my last turn if I don't draw something that can, get me started. But I have, so boom, I get Emerald Bird and I have Lunalight Fusion in hand. They're gonna try to negate it, but I have the Forbidden Droplet, which also negates their Synchro play. So out comes Perfume, Chainlink 1, then Chainlink 2, and then Chainlink 3 with the Emerald Bird and Yellow Martin. So I'll get a monster out, I'll use Perfume Dancer's effect to bounce back my Tiger, get another monster on board. Now I can go into rank 4 plays. Battling Boxer Dempsey is going to get negated and banished. So that part's out, but I'm not done yet. So I will get Kaleido back through the use of Masquerade and then Perfume. Perfume will then search. They're going to try to essentially Ash, but they're going to use Dominus Purge. But I'll negate it because my Graveyard Negate is live. Go into Wolf. And out comes Liger Dancer. And that's going to be game because now no battle phase effects and I can just board wipe and go in for game. So some tough battles by a lot of these decks that are very grindy, and that's the real benefit of having Lunalight. That Lunalight is a grindy deck, and if you know how to stall and how to look for your openings, you can definitely still do some damage even if you get cut off from Liger Dancer. Now I'm going first here. So here it looks like we're going uninterrupted from what I can tell. Strictly, basic Lunalight plays here. Just trying to combo off and get right into, Big Mama Liger Dancer. Here comes Perfume, you know the drill. Kaleido gets Poly back. I also didn't see a lot of the some of the usual suspects in the climb. I mean, I did, but those games were actually not as entertaining. I saw more than anything, I still saw mostly VS K9, which is why Cat Dancer is even in the deck again. It just really helps to clean up for an OTK. Because you have a lot of monsters in attack mode, you weaken them. And then, yeah, hit them twice. The double taps will usually just be enough for game. It's a very clean OTK. Comboing off. Again, just want to end up on the Nightmare and SP so that I can stop any deck that's going to try to go into link plays. So I'm thinking of a Yummy or Orchist or anything like that. Now here, this is actually sort of the God board because you have double Liger, SP, Nightmare, and then you have Forbidden Droplet, and you have your Graveyard Negate. Now I'm facing Mitsurugi here. So Mitsurugi is going to start off by just adding everything. Habakiri goes off there. So they have a ton of cards in hand, I think, and I'm really just trying to find ways to cut them off from their play. So I will negate. They'll go to Prayers. Out comes Mirakumo. I'm going to try to use SP to get out of this. Well, first I think I'm going to use Nightmare, yep. Then they're going to chain, I'm going to SP, but they're going to negate, and I have nothing in hand. I could have used Droplet, but I decided to hold it for a more crucial moment. Now I see that they added their Kaiju. They're in Archetype Kaiju, which is going to be dangerous because it's going to get rid of one of my Ligers. So here, I'm just waiting for a moment to use Liger to clear their board, which is right there. Now they're going to chain and save one of them. Mirakumo's still toast, and so is the monster that they get out there. Futsu will get will revive itself and add the Purification to hand. They Kaiju me. Out comes Mirakumo again, but their turn's gonna basically end there because they have no way to push past the remaining Liger Dancer. See, if I'd ended on just one, I was cooked. But here, gonna beat over their protection, board wipe, but they're gonna chain. I will impulse. Now they still get a card back, and out comes Mirakumo again. I'll just beat over it, and they survive to fight another turn. Now what I'm gonna do is just try to set up some other plays here. So I'll go into Dugares, mostly to draw, I think. Yeah. So I do skip my draw phase next turn, but essentially I just wanted to have some more resources that I could have potentially for any follow plays if they manage to either push past Liger Dancer or survive, or just not scoop. But yeah, once I hit them with the Forbidden Droplet right there, that was it. They had no way to keep playing. So we're on to the next one, where here I'm going first. Gonna go into the typical plays here. So summon Gold Leo, search, and I'll dump the Silverhound. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but like in previous videos, but I run 2 Silverhound just in the event where you draw into one. It just makes it easier to still be able to send one from deck to graveyard and then get the special summon. But yeah, here we're cooking. They don't seem like they're trying to stop us at all, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to set up as powerful of a board as I can. Here comes Wolf. Now they do impulse, but I have the negate live, and because Kaleido Chick counts as Leo in that moment, I'm still able to go into Liger Dancer, and thankfully the Black Sheep is able to get me back a monster, special summon, and yeah, the rest is it's kind of just a quirky way to work around it, but I'm still very much able to end on a strong board because now I can just go Dugares, special summon, and then I can go into SP. So it's not ideal, but I managed to banish the trap there just because in case they have another Dominus card, you don't want them to be able to pop a monster or pop a card on the field. So double Liger SP is still a very powerful board, and we're facing Shining Star, Dark Magician. Yep, so they go into D-Mod there. I'll pop D-Mod. They have Gaze of Timaeus, so they're actually going to get Dragoon out. And this is bad because Dragoon... So they're going to negate their own card so that Dragoon can get to 4k. And then it just beats over my Liger Dancer. Dragoon cannot be targeted, and I believe it can't be destroyed by card effects. So Liger Dancer's effect is useless here. Now I have to skip battle phase because I have to go right into battle phase and there's nothing else I can do in it, so I go to main phase 2. And what I'm going to try to do here is just go into... well, I was thinking maybe I would go into Tiger King to negate it, and that's exactly what I do. So once I do that, Dragoon is just a beat stick. They have no cards in hand to negate anymore. So I'll board wipe with Liger, and yeah, they scoop it up. So that was just a tricky situation, but we played on. So here I get hit with a Charmy early on. So basically all I'm trying to do is play around it to not give them too many draws. Because Perulia, I mean, this deck could play into Perulia, but it's also very easy for Lunalight to play around it. You can just start sending to grave and playing around. Fua hurts way worse in this deck. And getting double Fua is really rough because they don't even have to put anything back in most cases. Anyway, I go into Dugares here. Bring out Kaleido Chick. There I'm using Black Sheep to get the Wolf back. I'll Poly. And yeah. The rest of this, assuming they don't have any other interruptions, is pretty much a standard Lunalight play. It's more about showcasing the way that you can play around certain hand traps. Like I've already shown you in this video, playing around Droll, playing around or playing through, I guess, certain impulses and stuff like that. or like well-timed Dominus impulses, I mean. So here I'm going to end. I get SP out. Now I'm going to make Liger. I have the perfume in hand, so I can get a rank 4, a level 4. Although I think I miscalculated there. No, it's fine. I was able to do it. I do pen summon, and I get into Nightmare. So I did give them 1 draw, but all things considered, that's not that bad. So now they draw for turn. They will imperm the Nightmare. I'll negate, because that tells me that they need to summon. They need their normal summon to stay face up. So yeah, we're facing Maliss. I will book a Moon their card there with Nightmare. They go into a link play. Here comes Decoder. I chain on that activation. So, and then when they special summon their Cyber's card, I'll flip down at Ignister. Yeah. Now they try to go for a Bestial. Bestial comes out. They'll special summon. And once they do that, now when they, right here, this is where I Liger. Even when they try to chain, it doesn't matter. Their whole field is getting wiped. And then, yeah, they have no way to continue to extend. I do have to go right into the battle phase, but it's not a problem because they've already paid life points. Now they'll special summon, but I'm going to use Forbidden Droplet here to negate. Now I'll board wipe, and I can just hit the double tap there for game with Liger. And this is kind of just what I mean, like situational awareness is important when you're playing this deck. Just knowing when to use your interruptions. Because the thing is, like, a lot of these boards today will end on like with so many interruptions, either negates, pops, or what have you. Like right here, we're facing Vanquish Soul K9 and we're going second, so it's not a good position to be in. Because this deck can put up so much. Now, thankfully, the Dominus Impulse there hurts them a lot, as does the fact that I only used the trap card. I didn't use a hand trap, otherwise they'd be able to make a full combo with their K9 cards, like they're going to start to do right there. But what I was trying to say before is that the situational awareness is important, because Lunalight, especially in Master Duel, doesn't have that many interruptions in theory. It's more that they're powerful interruptions, because you have a tower that has a Raigeki and a double attack, and then you have just a couple things to complement it, like the spell trap negate and all of that. So just knowing when to use it so that you can win the card advantage battle. Now here they have an indestructible semi-tower of their own in Hound that they made, but I'm gonna go ahead and negate it. So Tiger King is now I actually messed up here because it doesn't negate. Hound is a Beast Warrior, so I actually, that was a misplay on my part. I forgot that I was facing a Beast Warrior deck. It's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's furry against furry here. And now I just have to find a way to out the Hound. And I might end up having just to pass, because Hound can't be destroyed by battle either. So I summon Liger, and yeah, I'll pass turn there. And then out comes SP again. I do board wipe, so the Hound is gone. But now they're trying to bring out some of their Artmage plays. So it's Artmage K9 more than anything. And yeah. So again, just timing the interruptions right here with Silverhound to block their Artmage card. But they have K9 plays live now. So they're going to try to go for, I guess, the Nightmare play. They take control of Tiger King. And they actually make, wow, the Galaxy monster. So they will beat over Liger Dancer and actually hit me for 28 in addition to that. So now I'm in trouble. And they go with Zeus on top of that. So I have to really think my way out of this one. So the second I try to bounce back Wolf, they'll negate it with their Artmage card, and then I'll try to special summon. They'll Zeus, so the whole board gets nuked. I have to use the Perfume Engrave to search, sending the Serenade Dance, the Silverhound will special, Gold Leo will get me my wolf back, and then I can start to extend. Now they'll board wipe me again, but it doesn't matter. I was trying to bait that out, because now I can still special summon from the deck. And then oh, what happened? Oh, that's right, I couldn't do anything else. So I have to let Zeus actually hit me and hope that they don't have anything else that they can hit me for game with. Now I'll use Wolf to... No, sorry. I'll use Perfume Dancer to weaken Zeus, make another Perfume Dancer, and then I was about to go off and try to make Liger and go for game. So that was a tough one, actually. You know, my respect to that player for being able to out Liger and have me on the ropes. Here we are going first. Tenki get hit by Droll. So now what I'll do is I'll send a Hound. They're gonna Ash the Hound. So I'll send now Kaleido Chick, and then I'll use the Black Sheep in hand to get Kaleido Chick back. Send the Yellow Martin special itself, go into Dugaras. Dugaras will special back out the Kaleido, send the send the Leo Dancer, and then end on SP. The idea here is I just wanted to have a Graveyard Negate live for a spell or trap, and then hope that the SP and the Ash in hand are enough. Now I'm facing what looks to be like something with Kashtira, and they have Vanity's Ruler, so I need to... it's Regenesis, so I need to get rid of this fast. I can't let them special summon and then get Vanity's Ruler on board, or else I'm really screwed. So I'll negate the Regenesis card, and then SP and their card will come back, so they can't go into Vanities. Now I have to go into Battle Phase. Thankfully I have the Forbidden Droplet. I'll beat over their monster, and now I'll go into the Silverhound play with Masquerade. Get Gold Leo, pitch the Fua, use Tiger, get Kaleido Chick back. Now they will hit me with Super Poly, which is brutal. That is just a brutal break there. Now I'll still end on something, but the second I know that the second I try to do anything else, they will use the Predaplant right there to negate the summon. So yeah, it's not looking great here. I have to basically just hope that they don't draw into like a real starter. They don't, so they just hit me for a direct attack, and I'm still alive, but it remains to be seen for how long. Now I'll use the Tiger to special summon. I'll use Yellow Martin there, and now I'll search for Polymerization. What I'll do though is use Tiger again, pitch, and then fuse. So this is where they're going to hit me again, I thought, anyway. But I chain block. And because the Predaplant's card, the Predaplant's effect is a win, chain blocking here actually protects. And now I can weaken it, beat over it, main 2, and now I just go Liger Dancer. So know your combos, know your alternate routes, your plan Bs and Cs, and that's what's going to get you the wins, especially in Master Rank and in ranked play. Yeah, they're going to try to go off here, but I'm going to flip their monster face down, and then once I have a Graveyard Negate and the pending board wipe, they realize that it's time to scoop it up. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, y'all, take care.